You got a friend in me. You got a friend in me. When the road looks rough ahead and you're miles and miles from your nice warm bed, you just remember what your old past is. Boy, you got a friend.
Thank you for being a friend. Travel down the road and back again. Your heart is true, you're a pal and a confidant.
Well, hello everybody, and welcome to another edition of Dam's Good Groceries. As you can see, we got a present today, a little bit of a gift. So we're going to take a look here at what we got, and it just so happens to be Amish Friendship Bread. That's right. So I want to start off today by saying that, you know, in these times that we're going through and that we continue to go through, that friends are everything. We have to have each other, and we have to have friends to get through. And I know some of my friends that I've made lifelong friends from many years ago mean a lot to me. And as you see in the beginning of our song here, thank you for being a friend. So today's episode is all about friendship. And this is the theme song of the Golden Girls. And growing up, my grandma Katie looked exactly like Sophia. So it is really good. It's going to be a good episode. I hope you enjoy it. We're going to tie family, friends, and the most important thing we look at this week or weekend going into Monday is Memorial Day. And the ultimate sacrifice that those have given for us to be able to do this today. For that, we're ever thankful. So, with that in mind, let's get to making some friendship bread, shall we? All right. So it starts off just like this, okay? Very, very simple concept here. It is a Ziploc bag, and it has a starter mix in it, okay? So the way this works is your friend gives you this, or you give this to a friend, however you want to do it, and then you follow the instructions, and I'm going to post this. This will be posted as well when you'll see with the video, but it gives you instructions that 10 days, every day, to mush the bag. So you want to take it and you just kind of mush it. Now this is a bread that does not use yeast, okay? There's no active yeast in this other than what we're going to make with the ingredients we're going to put in it. So you mush it every day for about 10 days, and then it's on day 6, as you'll see here. On day 6, you're going to add 1 cup of flour, 1 cup of milk, and 1 cup of sugar to a bowl. And then you're going to add it to the bag. And then again, you're going to mush it. When you get down to day 10, then you're going to add a cup of milk, a cup of flour, and a cup of sugar. And you're going to mix all of that up into your bowl, and you're going to make 4 starter bags. So essentially, this could go on and on and on and on. So we're going to get started today. So what I have done is, of course, I have my starter mix here, okay? This I'm actually going to give to a friend. So we're going to put that off to the side, but I have my starter mix that I have done all of those things to, and this one is actually ready to make. So I'm going to go ahead and add my starter mix down into my bowl. So what we're going to do, we're going to add our mix down into the bowl. And again, you want to make sure that this is the starter, so we're going to try and make sure that we get all of it out. Now, I just put it in this container to kind of store it, so we'll get it all out and down in there. So that's our starter mix that we have. And we forgot something very important, everybody. What did we forget? We didn't wash them hands. Gotta get started with that. Listen, the CDC did kill me if they, you know what I mean? Look, we're washing hands these days, folks. Okay, all right, so we get our hands washed. We got our starter mix down into our bowl. Okay, now, here's the thing with this, folks. You can add, okay, several different ingredients to this, okay? Depending on what you want, if you wanted to add, say, chopped nuts or raisins, walnuts, any of that. Today, what I've chosen to do is some chocolate chips and some honey roasted almonds. So we're going to do a chocolate almond Amish Friendship Bread today, okay? So how we're going to get started again, we got our starter down in there, and we're going to add the following ingredients, okay? We're going to add our, get everything here, we're going to add our oil. So 1 cup of vegetable oil. We'll go ahead and get that down in there. You do have a friend in me, you know?
You got a friend in me.
That's all I'm saying. You got a friend in me. Y'all didn't know that I sing. See, when I'm not really cooking, I sing on the weekend, do impersonations. You know, one of the things I was often thinking is somebody said, Josh, well, why isn't the Academy of Country Music calling you? And I said, well, they're not ready for a new king yet. Friend in me. All right. So, we're going to do our oil. We're going to add 1 cup of sugar. Okay? Sugar. Now we're going to add 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. 1 teaspoon. And we're going to add 3 eggs. These are organic, free range. No, they're not. They're just eggs. Free range eggs, you know, I mean. Anyway, eggs and egg is an egg. Okay, so then we're going to do 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. Just like that. And then we're going to add 1/2 cup of milk. Now this is whole milk, folks. I use whole milk when I cook, okay? You know, I'm trying to maintain this beautiful figure I got going on here, but we're going to go ahead and add the milk. Oh yeah, speaking of friends, I was recently gifted a brand new Dem's Good Groceries apron. Check that out, y'all, from a dear friend of mine. And that was a gift from Chris and Carrie. Well, some of my dear friends and brothers and sisters and all that good stuff. And it fits. How about that? That's the good thing about it. Let's get it all tied up here. There we go. Perfect. Now we're ready to continue on. I gotta tell you, it is beautiful. It's even got my name and everything on it, you know? Okay. Now, where we left off at was, I believe, baking soda. So now we're going to go to about 5 ounces of pudding. Okay, this is vanilla pudding. It's not, there's no, what is it, the sugar-free stuff. This is the good stuff here, folks, okay? Very unhealthy, but delicious. Vanilla pudding, 5 ounces. Right in there. And that's instant pudding. 5 ounces of instant pudding. All right. So then we're going to add 2 cups of flour down in there. And then we're going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla right in there like that. Boom. Just like that. And then we're going to add 1/2 teaspoon here of salt and 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. Boom. And then we're going to mix all of this together. What I have done is I've added about 2/3 cup here of almonds, and I've had about 2/3 cup here of semi-sweet chocolate chips. I'm going to put all that in there. Okay. Then we're going to go ahead. We're going to give that a little mix up. You want to kind of start as slow as you can here, not to throw that all over the place. We're going to kind of pulse it until I get it. There we go. Okay. Now we're going to let that mix. You want to make sure that you mix this up really nice. While that's mixing, we're going to go on to the next step. Now we've preset our oven to 325 degrees. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I got a couple of baking pans here, little bun pans, okay? Now what we're going to do is I've taken 1/2 cup of sugar and 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. What I'm going to do is give that a little mix up. All right, so you got like a little cinnamon and sugar mix in there, okay? You see how that kind of, you want to get it all mixed together, all right? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray my pans. And this is just regular cooking spray. We're going to spray them real good. Just like that. Like that. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, once you get them good and sprayed, nice and sprayed like that, okay? Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our cinnamon and sugar blend, and I'm going to coat the bottom of the pan with the cinnamon and sugar, just like that, okay? I want to catch all the sides of it, just like this. I want to catch all the sides like this, okay? You kind of dump a little in there and run it around. You want to make sure that you get it good and coated. So that now we're going to do the same thing over here, okay? Just going to give it a little sugar in there. Kind of coat everything real nicely. And you really want to make it all, I mean, you want to, the point is to get all the sides, you know, nice and covered like that with the sugar. It's going to make it sweet, much like myself, sweet kind, you know. So, we'll do that. Get a nice on there. And if you see there, kind of take a look, I've got it nice and coated all the way around with the brown. So we're making like a little crust there, okay, on the bottom. I'm going to put a little extra in there just because, why not? Okay, so now that we got that together, we're going to go back to our batter here. Oh, that's beautiful. All right, now you kind of take a look, guys, and you see it almost looks like a cookie batter, okay? It almost looks like if you were making chocolate chip cookies as a batter. So we'll get all of that off, okay? We'll go ahead and remove our paddles, like that. Okay, then the next part, fairly simple. We're going to go ahead and we're going to pour our batter into our pans, leaving enough room for it to rise. You don't want to fill it all the way up to the top, okay, then it's going to go everywhere. You don't want to do that. We're going to fill it up just enough to where it can rise. All right, so we're going to go ahead and okay. So, in this case, we have an extra pan because I don't quite have enough to do two pans. So we're going to go ahead and stick with the one pan here. And again, you'll notice that we've left a little bit of room, okay? We left a little bit of room in there to where it can rise. Because that's what I want. You know, we want a loaf of bread. This is going to be a sweet bread. It's going to be delicious. So, then what I'm going to do is just go ahead and I'm going to wipe around the sides here, okay, for a nice clean. I really want this to be a nice, pretty presentation when, you know, when it bakes in the oven. So we'll just catch the sides. Make sure that we're all good and clean. All right, and from here, folks, we're going to go into the oven. And we're going to go ahead and bake it for about 45 minutes to an hour, okay? What we're going to do is we're going to do 45 minutes, and then we're going to check it. We're going to use a thermometer, a stick test, go right down in the middle, make sure that it comes out clean. If it doesn't, you know, we're going to go back into the oven again. So we're going to go ahead and pop it into the oven for about 45 minutes, check it, and then we'll see what it looks like after that. So what we're going to do is go from here. We'll go right over here to the oven. And I'm going to go on the second rack. Just like that. Don't forget to set your timer. Okay? So we're going to go ahead and set a timer for, we'll do 45 minutes first. And then we'll take a look at it. Okay? Make sure you hit the right buttons. It usually works better that way. So 45 minutes on the timer. Alright? And we're going to get things cleaned up here in the Deb's Good Groceries kitchen. We're going to take a commercial break. We'll be back to tell you all about it. And we'll see how our Amish Friendship Bread comes out as we celebrate not only friendships, but all of our lost and all of those men and women who have gone before us this Memorial Day weekend. We'll be back right after this. Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining us for another edition of Dem's Good Groceries. I just want to take a moment from the cooking, from the shenanigans, and the show itself to just, in my own way, say thank you to those all of our veterans, and mainly this Memorial Day weekend, to the families of those. You're in our hearts, you're in our minds, and you're in our prayers because your loved ones gave the ultimate sacrifice so we can do what we do each and every day. And for that, we're ever grateful. So I just challenge you this Memorial Day weekend, folks, to go thank a veteran, thank a soldier, thank a family of someone whose family is not going to be returning this Memorial Day weekend because they gave that ultimate sacrifice. Let us not forget the frontline workers who have helped us get through this pandemic. Let us not forget the truck drivers and the grocery stores and all of our friends and those who help us get through every day to day life. But mainly and most importantly, let's remember the ones who made the ultimate sacrifice. Keep them in your thoughts, your mind, your hearts, and your prayers, their families and them. May God bless you, and may God bless the United States of America. All right, everybody, welcome back. Now, so I've taken it out of the oven, okay? Let it cool for a minute, and it's about 60 minutes. It's about an hour. I was doing 5-minute intervals, of course, testing with, get in. When you get a nice clean, just like that, nothing else on there, you're good to go. All right, so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna take a cutting board. I'm gonna come right over the top, okay? And then I'm going to simply flip. And there you go. Now, what I've done and I'm going to do is, you kind of see it crust up around here, which is what you want. This is the sugar crust that you have around the sides, okay? So what we're going to do is, using a serrated blade, because you're cutting in the bread, we'll give it a little cut in there. You want to get through that crust. That's the big thing there, okay? I'm going to go ahead and move this one out of the way. We'll save that for later. Now I'm going to give us a nice second little cut here. Ooh, that's a little warm. Let's go. Cut through that crust. We can plate them a couple at a time. Yeah, we're going to go through that sugar crust, is what it's called. That's the crust that we made, that sugar crust. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Friendship bread. And it's okay. A lot of people, when they make this, so the crust around the outside of the bread itself, okay, it's going to form a crust. And that's what you want. It's a crust. It's got a cinnamon and sugar crust on it, and then it's got the inside as well. And this goes good with coffee in the morning, with a glass of milk, however you want to do it. But there you have it. It's something you can share with your friends. Pass the recipe along. Everybody can kind of make it the way that they want, and however you want to do it along the way. So just remember, it's all about friendships, and it's all about cooking together. Even though we can't be together, we can cook together. Please keep in mind this weekend to thank a veteran, thank a soldier. Keep those in mind who gave us the ultimate sacrifice. And again, a thank you from the bottom of our hearts to all the first responders out there on the front lines throughout this pandemic as we get back to normal here. Please remember that this weekend. Have fun with your friendship bread. Pass it along. Be safe. Be kind to one another. Hug those fur babies. We'll see you next time on Dem's Good Groceries. Hello again, everybody, and thank you for joining us on this very special edition of Them's Good Groceries. I want to dedicate this particular Them's Good Groceries episode to someone who I had the chance to meet and just was an amazing human being. You know, you meet people sometimes and they just come off as incredible, and they're sweet, kind, and caring, and you can see it. And for me, that was when I had the chance to meet Robin Goodwin, who is one of our nurses and heroes on the front line, especially during this pandemic. But more importantly, to her son, Army Specialist Alex Misseldine, who gave the ultimate sacrifice overseas. And Robin, air hugs, my friend, and hugs from me to you. And to all of those families out there, we want to give hugs and let you all know that you're in our thoughts, you're in our minds, and you're in our prayers. May God bless you, and may He keep you. Thank you.
And I'm proud to be an American.